All right, awesome. I don't know what that was. This is whatever this is. And I'm your host, Ramon, on whatever this is. A show where I talk to random people for about an hour because this is what I decided to do with my life until I either become president of the United States or I die of a horrible death. Ideally, it would be both, because that would be an awesome way to die, right? Like right after I became president.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you would probably be remembered longer.
Absolutely. Anyway, this is my guest for today. Where's my hand? There's my hand. My guest for today is Malik.
What's going on?
I don't know anything about Malik. Malik, just like everyone, just messaged me and said he wants to be on my show, and I said, sure, why not?
Yeah.
And now here we are.
Hey, I had to, because the only reason was I seen that you had a YouTube link on your TikTok, and I like your TikTok. So I'm like, dang, he has a whole YouTube page. And I seen you were doing this, and I love these types of random conversations. This is right up my alley.
Oh, cool. That's literally all I got.
Yeah.
So let's see. So you've watched, I'm assuming, at least some of the videos on my YouTube. So you know what I'm trying to accomplish in like the loosest sense of the term. And yeah, that's so I realized something.
Yeah.
Like while I was doing this. And I don't know if I talked about this. I don't remember what I talk about, what I don't. But I'm just gonna tell you in general. The way that this started was when I was in college, which was God, I don't know, it was forever. When am I? 30? It was like 10, whatever age I was when I was in college. You know how college age works.
Got you, yep.
Anyway, I was like, we kept making this stupid joke. Like, I don't know how it started. It was just like, we were talking about what we wanted to do, like, after college, like, normal people in college do.
Exactly.
And I decided I wanted to take over the world. I don't know why, but I know I did.
Yeah.
And then all my friends decided to egg me on. It's like, if someone could do it, I'm sure it's you. It's like, all right, sure, whatever. So that's how this started. It was like this stupid joke, this running gag. It was like, and eventually, like all running gags, you kind of just forget about it. Because, that's what you do with running gags. You forget that they exist. And then something randomly got brought up again. It was like, someone just asked me, did you still want to take over the world? Maybe I was talking to myself. I don't know. It was like, no, I don't want to take over the world. The world sucks. Have you seen the world? Fuck the world. I don't want to deal with all these people. And then I said, if I had to do something, I remember now, literally talking, I don't want to work. I've never, like actively working, because, like, I'm fine with, like, having, like, responsibilities and stuff.
Right.
But, like, I was in culinary school. Again, I was talking about this recently, so you might have seen it.
Yeah.
But I dropped out because, I couldn't pay for it. And then I realized I didn't want to go back because the service industry sucks, and I would have either stabbed someone or burned the place down. Or the point is, I didn't want to become a serial killer because I wanted to find out how to make rack of lamb. That's the point I was trying to make. So I was like, if I would have had to do one thing, it would just be, to take over the world. If I took over the world, then I wouldn't have to actually work.
Right.
I deal with, like, I get it. Like, being a dignitary?
Sounds right.
Working in politics is work, but it's also, like, not really work. Like, we've all seen politicians. Like, those guys work, like, 15 minutes a day, maybe. And it's like, yeah, I could do that. But like I said, I don't want to work for the world, because the world, fuck these people.
For sure.
Anyway, so that's what it was. And then it was like, I bet if I could just go with one country, I could get like the same outcome. I was like, well, in that case, I should just run for president. That would be easier. And here's the problem with me. I have 2 brain functions. Stuff that's absolutely impossible, in which case it's just a joke, like, right. I want to date Kim Kardashian. I'm sure you can get her to go out with you. Yeah, sure, whatever. But again, like, that's not an option for like multiple reasons. One, she only dates like rich, in shape black guys.
Yep.
Most of which I'm not. Black is kind of on the rope, depending on who you ask.
Yeah.
And well, yeah. But then there's like other stuff. It's like, even if it's slightly more plausible, I will die climbing that hill. Because again, like going out with Kim Kardashian, I don't want to do anyway. But
yeah, no, not. I wouldn't do none of them because I feel like they are pure bad luck. That's all they represent.
Oh no, you're right. Like, because isn't every guy that's gone out with one of them, their lives are in like shambles.
It's bad. It's bad. It's to the point where if you want to risk it all, sure. If you want to risk it all, go right ahead. But nah, like, I'm cool on that.
Even the ones that are still doing okay are still like so screwed up. Because I think like Tyga is doing okay, but he is. But he's still like worse off than he was.
That one, I ain't gonna lie, that one is kind of debatable. I seen a couple of things where he dated Kylie, right? I think it was Kylie who he dated. And Kylie was saying like she made him a billionaire in a sense, or like she basically was giving him a lot of business tips that he didn't know in the first place.
Don't get me wrong. That's absolutely true. Because I didn't know who the fuck Tyga was. I'm not saying, because like, yes, and because that's how you want to decide stuff like that, right? Because don't get me wrong, Tyga is way richer now, and he's way more famous. But like, that's one of those things that you have to decide. Like, is that worth your sanity?
That part of it, I hope I never have to make that judgment on, because
that's what happened. Was it his ex? I want to say it's Black China, but I don't know. But like that's what started all of that. Yep. And like again, I'm a massive sellout. Like I don't have pride. Like that's why I'm trying to become a politician. But I'm not willing to sell my soul to whatever his mother's name is. I don't remember what her name is.
No, not Kendall. Yeah, I don't remember either.
Yeah, it doesn't matter at this point. The point is, I am not willing to sell my soul to that woman for fame.
For sure.
I mean, I'm saying that now, but like, the point I'm.
What are you saying?
The point I'm trying to make is it has to be worth my while.
For sure.
And dating them isn't enough for that because, well, they're also like mostly plastic, which is also slightly unsettling.
Yeah, that's very weird. Plastic or like moving bones and facial structures, and that stuff is wild.
I forgot what I was talking about. Oh, right. So then I decided I should run for president. It was like, and then I kind of just sat there and I thought to myself, I should run for president. And that's what I decided to do. It's like, I could run for president over the internet, right? If I just put my face on enough random shit, I think I could run for president of the United States. So that brings us up to today. So I have to tell everyone this because when you run for president, people have like certain misconceptions. I'm not a good person. I'm not.
You gotta let that be known now for sure.
I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this because I want to save the environment, or because I want to get health care, or because I want to, help Black people. Which again, I'm involved in all of that stuff, but right. I don't connect with it emotionally. I'm mentally fucked up.
So what's your goal then? Yeah.
My goal is to piss off all the people that are doing that shit. I don't give a shit about fixing the world, but I do want them all to hate my guts. So, if I have to replant the Amazon so that a bunch of random developers are mildly upset with me, then I guess that's what I have to do.
True.
So, yes, that's what I mean when I'm trying to run for president out of spite. I'm not doing this for the betterment of humanity. The betterment of humanity is an after effect of me pissing off Jeff Bezos, because fuck Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, forget him and all of that.
Yeah. But yeah, that's...
So, if you do that, I mean, the biggest thing about a president, I feel like, is the economy. So, Does that mean you're spending money at all times?
That's the thing. The economy is such a stupid thing. Because
stupid.
They made up the economy. So, yes, I can spend as far as I understand it, I can spend whatever I want. Exactly. The student loans. No, not even the federal student loans, because I keep asking people and they can't give me an actual answer. I feel like I have to have, actual people who knows about this stuff. But again, that's the point. I have to work my way up to that. I feel like I can just pay off all those student loan debts just, as the president. Yeah, I'm sure, because I get that what they're trying to do is a forgiveness on the federal student loan debt.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's great. Again, they still haven't done it. And they're also trying to bring the number down. But again, I don't give a damn. It's on them. My stuff is where it is. I'm fine. Anyway, all right. So yeah, if I could find out a way to legitimately just pay off all the student loan debt in the country, then I would totally do that.
I feel like it should already be able to be done. Like you said, at this point, money is infinite. Whoever is in control of the money, the treasury, all that stuff, their job is bull. All they do is type numbers into a computer. That's all they have to do.
Because there were two things that I know that could fix even the fake stuff that they make up, which is taxing rich people.
Yep.
And just all the other random stuff that they spend money on that nobody needs. Which I don't know what it is, obviously, but I'm sure it exists.
Yeah.
Even just the clothing budget is probably I don't know.
It'd probably be a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, clearly I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but neither does any other politician. And I think that's the biggest issue, because politics, and this is a side effect of the digital age, and I get that. And that's kind of why I know this will work. Originally, way back in the old times, when the only person who mattered were rich white men. Well, white men in general.
Yeah.
You didn't need to hide the fact that you didn't know what was going on, because people only knew stuff from the newspaper and the radio broadcast.
Yeah.
And then TV became a thing, and it became a little harder, because that's why I don't remember history enough. But that's why one of the presidents lost to the other one, because they did the first televised debate, and they saw him, was like, I'm not voting for this freak. I mean, because apparently he was up there like sweating and losing his shit and everything.
Right.
And the other guy was just, all calm and collected. I think one of them was Reagan. I'm not going to act like I actually know. My point is that opened up a new avenue. And now that we have like computers and everything, well, now we just know that they're all idiots and that they don't know what they're doing. It's like, I thought you had to be smart for this job, but if you don't have to be smart to do it, then anyone can do it. I'm a random idiot. I can do it too.
Exactly. I will say one thing I have always been like, okay, that would probably be hard as a politician, is being charismatic. You got to be able to get people to like you off the strength of your words. Which,
yeah.
I mean, I feel like you are good at that. I mean, you made it this far as just speaking your mind and being yourself. So as a politician, though, some of them have to hold back certain things of themselves, you know what I mean, to try to make them seem better than what they are.
So then that's totally true. You're totally right. So here's the thing. I have two. We'll see how many different points I have when I finish talking, because I don't know. My first point is that you're right. They totally have to, like, and I get it. Like, let's assume that every politician was split into two categories, good and bad.
Right.
Like, depending on, because this doesn't even have to do with, like, who you are as a person. These are just the two different sides. The one that's against you and the one that's for you. Even if you knew that the guy that was good was like, I will make sure you get $100 in the mail every day for the next 5 years.
Yeah.
But, like, if that guy talked like, I don't know, the Brain from Pinky and the Brain, I'm probably not going to vote for him because, like, Brain has issues. And I'm sure, like, as much as I would be okay with getting $100 every day for 5 years, they would be suspicious. I would be suspicious if like, I'm not past the fact that he's a mouse. If the guy who talked like the Brain just said I was going to give you $100 if you vote for me for president. So that's when I decided that if I was going to do this, I had two options. I can either do it like every other politician, which will literally completely destroy the point of me doing this.
Right.
Or I could just do it like me and probably fail, but I don't really want to be president anyway. So that's when I came up with the fact that I'm pretty much stuck with now. There were four outcomes for me, like, period. Like, regardless of whatever else happens, there were four outcomes. I either win, and while doing it like every other politician, which sucks because, well, those are boring.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do that, period. I either do it like every other politician and I lose, in which case, why the hell did I waste my time doing this?
Exactly.
I can do it like myself and lose, which again is my optimal way of doing this.
Yeah.
Because I'm not stuck with being president. And everyone else knows that they can do it. So someone else can go and actually be president and know what they're doing and, who wants responsibility or garbage like that.
Right.
And the fourth one, obviously, is I do it like myself and I win. Which, sure, I'm stuck being the president for the next 4 years. But at least I got to have fun doing it while I got to that point. And after. Because people don't like it. I'm not saying everyone, obviously.
Yeah.
But, like, people don't like it when you aren't normal. Even people that aren't normal themselves still don't like it. Because there's this idea that in order to succeed or be, I don't know, liked, noticed, I'm still multiple, you have to be a certain way.
And as we've learned through the internet, that's not the case at all now.
Exactly. So, flew right out of my head. Anyway, my point is, this is pretty much what I'm stuck with now. Regardless of whether I succeed or fail, I'm pretty much stuck with where I'm at.
Yeah. Well, I will say if you win being yourself and, like you said, doing it your way, I feel like that will make the presidency a lot funner.
Oh, sure.
Throughout the whole thing, because then you're for sure doing whatever you want, because either they just gonna kick you out that mud or you just gonna keep going.
Yeah, exactly. Listen. I'm not like, I keep saying I don't want to win, which is technically true. I don't want to be president, but I do want to do it. Like, it's not like I'm sticking myself into a job for trying to, that I absolutely don't want to do. Because I like problem solving and stuff. I like figuring stuff out. So, I mean, I like technically, and like the slimmest margin want to do it. It's just that I don't want to be co-workers with these people. They suck so much.
You have to build a team then.
No, those people, I get that. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about, like, everyone else.
Listen, like other politicians that are doing it for their job.
I don't want to be co-workers with fucking Mitch McConnell, who will probably still be alive at that point. Like, I'm going to have to talk to these people and act like I like them, even though there's documented proof of me on the internet telling everyone how much I don't fucking like these people. And that's going to be embarrassing for them, not for me.
Yeah, I was about to say for them.
But, at the same time, I also kind of want to do that. It's like, hey, Mitch, remember when I told you to go fuck yourself on the internet 3 years ago? That was funny, right?
I feel like, I don't know. I feel like people probably don't like each other, and they probably know it. I would have to think, especially with, like you were saying, like, politicians used to just be one class of people for the longest. So now where we're at, where there's Mexicans in there, there's Asians in there, there's black people in there, I feel like people be letting it known if they like somebody or not behind closed doors.
Oh, and don't get me wrong. I mean, you're totally right. Like, I'm sure, like, that's true. But, like, again, like you said, but it's behind closed doors, right?
Yeah.
I can't imagine who actually doesn't like each other, even like the same side. But that's my point. I'm actively gonna go into like these debates or whatever and just making fun of these people to their face. Like, well, better hope I don't win, because everyone's gonna remember that time I said I would push you off the Grand Canyon if I ever got a chance.
Yeah, and what's funny too is, like, when presidents do run against each other, is there is somebody that's assigned to pick up all of everything that was ever put out about you. So...
Yeah. Yes. Listen. Oh, I'm so glad you mentioned that. Listen. Even because it's not even presidential, it's not even like the actual people running. The moment people start taking you seriously about this stuff, they go through everything.
Yeah.
I can't wait until the poor saps have to sift through my garbage TikTok to find all of the crap I have ever said and use it against me. That's the real reason why I'm like say the stuff that I say the way that I say it. Because people have like asked me if I have like Asperger's or if I have like ADHD or whatever. That's not why I talk the way I talk. I talk the way I talk so that people who hate me in the future can find it and can try to use it against me. That's why I say this stuff.
That's real thought out, man.
Like, oh, I can't wait. I can't wait.
So when they do bring like up your old TikToks, like you just gonna be like, yeah, and I'm about to make some more tomorrow.
I mean, yeah. Listen, it's gonna be insane because I've only said this a handful of times. I don't remember the stuff that I make, like, because you know how people. Well, I don't know if you know. People will comment like, "You just talk to talk." Like, yes, that's exactly what I do. Yeah. I read comments, and I press record on my phone, and then I say whatever the hell triggered in my brain, and then I post it.
Right.
That's why I can't even say stuff. I can't even go on rants the same way because I don't study stuff. I don't have a script.
Yeah.
I'm just a jackass. So then, yeah, like if that happens, I'll have to just sit there. It's like, I say that? That sounds like something I would say. Hey, if you saw the video, clearly I said it. I don't know what to tell you, man.
So that just instantly made me think. I mean, okay, a lot of your philosophies have to be not based off of Trump, but Trump, I always said, was somebody who didn't know politics.
Mm-hmm.
He knew what to say, and he made his own decisions. And all three of those things, of course, yeah, he had his bad parts, but like if there was more politicians like that, I think the election would be insane. Everybody would be involved in it. If there was 3 or 4 Trumps arguing with each other on a debate.
Well, that's the problem. Because, like, listen, the problem with, well, one, the first thing is Trump's a narcissist.
Yes.
So he can't, like, actively admit that he had any problems or shortcomings.
Right.
Trump actually didn't want to win. See, it's not like I don't want to win, but I don't want to win because I don't want to deal with, being president. But I would do it. Trump didn't want to be president, period. He told everyone for the last 30 or something years, I'm going to run for president. I'll show you all how it's really done.
Yeah.
And then he finally tried, and then he put his money where his mouth is, and expecting, okay, I'm pretty sure, I've told my friends like this too. He expected he was going to lose because he got up there and he said like whatever the hell, because Trump is definitely racist. Don't get me wrong.
For sure.
But Trump
100%.
is like racist in the way that most white people from New York are racist.
Rich white people from New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The things that Trump said while he was running specifically was so super specific. I feel like Trump hired actual racist to tell him what to say.
Probably.
And then he won. Listen, I don't know. Did you actually watch the results that night?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Did you see
the first time?
Did you see his face when he won?
He was surprised.
He looked like his world had ended.
He was very like, oh wow, we really got to do this now.
Yeah, like I mean, I don't feel sorry for him. Like, fuck the guy.
Right.
Like, one of the other things I said is one of my side goals for doing this is to get Trump to angry tweet at me. Which is no longer an option since he got kicked off.
This man went too ham and got kicked off.
I feel like the only thing I can do now is send him a self-addressed envelope and ask him to mail me. Yeah. I'm gonna if I do that, I'm also gonna get it in bronze and gold and hang it on my wall. Anyway,
that would be the only thing to do after that.
So yeah, and he was stuck with it, but he couldn't admit that he fucked up because he's a narcissist. So all he could do is dive headfirst into doing a job that he didn't want to do or know how to do. Because being president, because this isn't about politics anymore. Being president is such a weird position to have because you have to deal with whatever happens that day.
Yes.
Cause and you never know what's going to happen that day.
So most of the stuff, are you saying like most of the things you do have to deal with is off of the head anyway? Like you got to come up with an idea or plan or something like out of thin air.
I'm like, there are definitely things that you can like look into and look back on.
Yeah.
Because the way that the world works, even stuff that happened the same time before happens differently in the present.
Next time it happens. Yeah, for sure.
So, like, that's the only thing that I stopped to think about. It's like, maybe I really shouldn't do this. Because, I mean, like, what if, like, something actually happens and I have to deal with it? It was like, nobody knows how the world will turn out tomorrow when you wake up.
For sure. So
it's not like I can't just sit here and think that maybe somewhere in Congress there's another, I don't know, Obama or I don't know, George Washington. I was trying to think of the president who played the saxophone in the 90s when I was a kid.
I don't even remember.
Yeah, the one who got a blowjob and whatever.
Oh, anyway. Clinton?
Yes, Clinton. Yeah. That's his name. But like, none of them knew how to deal with that stuff until it actually happened, and then they just had to, figure it out. And again, I'm great at figuring stuff out. So again, like,
and you'll have a whole team. That's usually most presidents have teams and teams and teams to work with.
I'm definitely having. Like, I'm not trying to listen. I can say this for myself. I'm not a narcissist. I don't want the recognition of being president. I will hire whoever I need to hire to fix whatever needs to be fixed.
Exactly.
I don't need everyone to say he's the greatest president ever. I don't give a damn about that. I want to sit in the Oval Office in an overly flashy suit and figure stuff out. Like, that's all I really care about. There are only like two main goals I have. That's proving to everyone that I'm a fucking genius and taking overly dramatic pictures in the Oval Office in my supervillain suit. That's it. Those are the only two real goals I have for all of this.
Well, I thought of something else too. So the military, I mean, come on. Every president has to know or at least be involved with military actions. I mean, like you said, there's generals and sergeants and all that stuff, but there's so much that happens around the world.
Yeah.
Like one bad move, one bad missile, one bad assassination is falling on the president, like without a doubt. So what's your thoughts on that moving towards this? Like I will say to add before your response is like people were questioning Trump because of the mentality he had where he didn't do research on politics past the US. He didn't do research on certain tanks to send in certain countries. He didn't do that type of research. He would just kind of delegate it off. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what's your thoughts on it, man?
Well, like, again, the same thing. I'm totally gonna do it, like, it properly, I guess, as I want to say. Listen, I'm just gonna be honest with you, which all I can do. I kind of just using that idea, because I thought about that, because you're right, like, because the president is, like, the top of the executive branch. Correct. I don't know what the president's, like, actual... I know he has like some type of actual title in the military. God knows I don't know what it is, but it's something
like chief of command or something like that.
Yeah. Like that's his actual position, and he's the highest ranked member of the military. Now, America fucks with so much stuff for their own benefit, and I'm sure like a lot of it is like actually based on like actual mutual agreements. The only thing I can really tell you from where I am like right now is my decision will be based on like two things. I have to talk to the actual people in charge of that country and see if they actually, want us there. And I have to talk to the people over here that are involved and see if we are actually needed over there, or if there's just like, I don't know, oil or gold.
Right. I see what
whatever.
You're saying. Yeah.
Because you're right. And I think that's like a really screwed up thing that happens all the time, is that stuff only happens when people want to make money off of it. And again, I don't give a damn about those people. I don't care what you want to make money off of.
Yeah.
So, if like there's just some random militia somewhere, and like, again, like, I don't know how this works. I just imagine that I can just like call them on the phone. And I just like, hey, I know we have like 5 different bases around your country the size of New York City, New York State. I just want to know, do you want us there? If they say no, all right, fine. Well, bring them back then.
Pack it up.
Because, like, I have no reason to interfere in another country's, like, stuff if they don't want us there. Like, I mean, obviously it's more difficult than that, because, like, there were some people that, of course, say no. Meanwhile, they're the ones with, like, $500 million in military to, destroy their own country. So I'm saying, for the sake of this conversation, like, because there were so many different avenues you can take. What I do know is that I definitely am not going to be a part of just stripping a country of all of its resources because Coca-Cola wants more water for their fucking terrible water that's filled with salt, which is absolute garbage, mind you.
Yep.
Anyway.
No, that's real though. There's companies that really have that much pull in government doings.
Because, like, luckily for me, because this is like a thing that this is also another point behind me doing this. I don't know what type of person I am. Lots of people don't know what type of people that they are. Like, because people say I'm such a great person because if I, had the chance, I'd do blank A, B, C. And then when they finally get the chance to do something that's not even, like, as difficult a decision as any of those. Like, if I was a superhero, I'd be better than Superman. Meanwhile, some random woman drops an envelope with like $50. It's like, I'll find his keepers. Like, are you serious?
That is true, though. That is true.
Mind you, I would be that person, but I'm not saying I'd be better than Superman either. So I'm not a hypocrite. I just understand that some people are jerks. Would I give a... So, that reminded me. One time, I don't have I can't drive, so I take public transportation.
Yeah.
So one time I was waiting to go to work, and there was a phone on the bench. I picked it up. It was like, oh, a phone. And a woman came up, and I took it was like a minute and a half apart. So I'd already taken up the phone, and I was already back over to where I was. The woman came up, and she was looking around that area. I was like, she wants this phone back, doesn't she? And I gave her the phone back. She was happy. It's like, that's great. The problem is, it was an iPhone. I don't use iPhones. I gave her back the phone, of course, because it was an iPhone.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would have done if it was a phone that I had wanted. I know I gave her back the iPhone, but...
If it was a really good phone that you would want?
I could say that I would give it back to her. But in all honesty, I don't know.
Who knows?
Exactly. But like the point of me starting this is to figure out if I'm really like as great of a person as I think I am, which, mind you, isn't that great. Yeah. But are my expectations where they stand as I have come to understand myself? And for the most part, I'm still pretty balanced. Yeah. Now, mind you, it's not like I have any real questions or morals, but my morals are shot anyway, so I generally don't know what'll happen. But yeah.
Have you ever heard of the statement? I learned this in, I think it was psychology. Is psychology with your brain, right? Yes. So have you heard the like statement or like theory that everybody starts evil, and then as you progress through life is how you basically turn that around or stay the same, but everybody basically starts at the same evil point where they would be selfish, you know what I mean? They would be arrogant, all of that type of stuff that you have to learn to not be, in a sense.
Oh, I think I have. I don't remember it.
Yeah.
But I think you're right. Because it's the idea that like all children, it's because of kids. Because all kids are just jerks.
Yeah, they are.
So that, and that's what they say a parent's job is, guide them to not be jerks. Some of the parents are even worse jerks, so they become that. Or they, teach them how to be a decent person. Yeah. Yes, I know what you're talking about. It's weird. I don't think that that's specifically true. Mm-hmm. I don't think that all people start out the same. I think that people start from the same like area, I guess, because it's exposure. You can say that if you start off on a certain place, you can end up like a couple of different places, but that's depending on who you interact with.
Yeah.
But it's more along the lines of where you fall. Because some places it's easier or harder. Because that's why, when you're in like school, there was some children that it's easier to teach, not throw a chair across the room.
Right. Than the one that has an anger problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not a matter of everyone is exactly the same. Because, oh God, I don't know enough about actual psychology to explain it. Because I know what you're talking about.
I don't either, but I'll just...
Two people who've done like the first day's homework in a psychology class trying to explain psychology. Anyway, no, people in general, because I'm going to be honest, I don't like technically understand morality in like the way that it's like actually explained. I know what morality is. Like, I understand what my morality is. But the idea of morality itself is kind of weird, since society as a whole tries to equate it to a certain grouping of ideas.
Okay.
So, because that's the same thing. That's kind of my issue with morality in general. Because technically, I'm an immoral person, like in the loosest sense of the term, because I don't necessarily say I want to help the world for good reasons. Right. I'm an immoral person, which I'm fine with, but I don't technically think that's a fair assessment to make. I mean, like, if I can it's not like I'm trying to fix the world by setting everything on fire. I'm just doing it by trying to anger a bunch of people that are trying to set the world on fire.
Yeah.
But, I guess that goes into the whole hero versus anti-hero debate, which, I don't know.
Hey, I mean, I agree with you saying because I think, I mean, just thinking back to presidents in general and how we've always judged presidents is based off of what you're saying. Like, yeah, like did you help the poor? Did you help homelessness? Did you help unemployment? And it's like all of those things could be helped. You know what I mean? But what other problems are there? You know what I mean? There could be some shady housing inspector that's not letting the homeless live in some building.
Yeah.
Like there's so many small details throughout it. And yeah, I feel like if more presidents did think like, what's the problem? All right, I got a team there. Hopefully they'll fix the issue. Blah, blah. Like, but these are my goals. And hey, I don't know. It just seems like what it really is, the immoral versus moral, is how they want to be perceived. And that's like you said, like all the stuff that has behind closed doors and like all that stuff. Like, why does it have to be like that?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't really care however people want to see me. Like, it literally doesn't mean anything to me. Like, that's one of the reasons. So, every video, again, this goes into specifically why I filmed the way that I filmed. Yeah. Every video is in the exact same spot, which I don't know if I've ever, because it's here. This is my computer, obviously. But over here, this is my phone. This is where my phone is. So that means, like, you know, this is where my my door is, over here.
Yeah.
So originally, this was all I filmed because it was the easiest. Because all I had to do was turn this way and then film, and then that was it.
Yep.
Then I realized it doesn't really matter wherever I film because it's kind of just meaningless in and of itself.
It is.
So after that, it's like people kept asking, like, why are you filming the same spot? Because fuck you, that's why.
Right. Like it's only a problem if it's a problem to you. Like,
yeah.
That's literally it.
Like my self-image is like meaningless to me. Like, dude, because like, no, because my hair is like, I'm balding because I don't think I've ever actually said it. I have a nervous tick, or whatever you want to call it. So I like, is it this way? I'm looking in the thing and I'm screwing with myself. This way. I scratch my head here a lot.
Okay.
So that's what it is. I guess technically I have alopecia as opposed to just. That's not important. The point is that, like, it doesn't matter enough to me. Because, like, I don't care about my hair. Technically, I mean, my hair is fine. I'm just saying, if I had the option to get a bunch of wigs that were like
fabulous,
like if I could get like a red afro wig, then I would definitely wear that. Like, for the record, like, I have the sense of fashion of a fucking fantasy character. Because technically, I want fucking hair that's like set on fire, like that fucking Johnny Storm, like, or like Starfire, or like, I guess, a male Tamaranian, because I don't want like hair as long as Starfire's, obviously.
Yeah.
But like, just like in general, I'm getting sidetracked. My point is that the way that people react when your sense of self differs from what either they expect of themselves or what they expect of someone who is famous,
right,
is really skewed.
It is.
And I've decided to go out of my way to ignore that and annoy those people.
And that's smart. I was about to say, to go back to when we was talking about the Kardashians and stuff like that, like, there's literally people in this world that want to look like someone that has had bone structure things, lipo, plastic surgery. Like, that's literally impossible unless you just pay for it to get it done.
Did you ever look up a picture of them before all that? Like,
oh yes, I had to, just to confirm what I'm saying. Like, it's This is insane.
I was compulsed. I have to find these pictures now. And yeah, like you're right. Like the woman who slept with Ray J does not exist anymore.
It does not at all.
It was like
that's so crazy to say, but yeah, no, that's true. But yeah, like you were saying, like people have this image that they need to be like and have this, you know what I mean, this picture of what they're supposed to be like, and it's like we don't even have control of what we're supposed to look like now. Like,
and listen, I'm fine with like your own personal image. I don't have an issue if you want to look like that, then by all means look like that.
Do what you gotta do.
Like I said, the moment I get the chance, I am like, none of my clothes are gonna be same. Even like my normal suit. Because I told my friend this like one time, like the moment I get the chance to, the moment like this makes like the slightest bit of fame for me.
Yeah.
All of my personal appearances, I'm gonna be wearing like some random piece of merch from like anything. Like off the top of my head, like a pin from the Umbrella Corporation of Resident Evil.
Ooh, yeah.
Or I'll get like an insignia from like one of the villages of Naruto.
Hey.
Or any other stuff like that. Like, because again, like my image has nothing to do with my body. Because like I'm fine with the way that I look. I have no opinion about how I look. I don't like looking at myself because that's weird. But that has nothing to do with me like not liking myself.
You're right.
I think that he's my evil twin that's going to kill me and then take over my life. Those are my own issues to deal with. What I'm saying is, if I by chance want to dress like a character from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, then I will.
Yeah, just because you want to.
Exactly.
Well, okay, that just brought me to the point of, I mean, you brought it up earlier, internet, computers, all this stuff. I mean, we'll eventually be to the point where the most that we communicate with people is through online interfaces or, you know what I mean, internet connection. So that moves into like the whole, like, you could virtually have a hat on, you know what I mean? You could virtually have the umbrella from Resident Evil on your shirt, you know what I mean? And like, that would almost be, I feel like, what we're moving towards anyways. And I feel like that would break that thought of, like you said, like, if I want to wear that, I'm going to just wear it. Like, it ain't no big deal.
Yeah. Because that's kind of like, I don't know what this movie is called. The movie that Bruce Willis did a couple of years ago, where they all had, like, android bodies, and they all, like, plugged into, like, these beds that looked like they were from the Matrix. I don't remember what it was called. It's kind of a okay movie. The point is that everyone else made themselves look like they were supermodels, weightlifters. But Bruce Willis only went back to Bruce Willis with hair.
Okay.
And like
what was that movie?
Man, I do not know. It's not even like, it wasn't even that great of a movie.
But that's funny though. That is funny.
Yeah. Because I think like he had like a wife. I think like the point, like one of the things in the movie is that like their kid died, and his wife went into complete remission, got herself a 20-year-old version of her body, and was just like living the life again, while he still looked like 50-something-year-old. How old Bruce Willis is? God knows, I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
With his hair that he had when he was, in Die Hard 1. But yeah, like people have different things that they want out of themselves, and it's not, you can't tell other people what it is that they want.
For sure. So, and people get mad about that. People get mad that they can't tell you what you're supposed to look like or what you're supposed to talk like and all of that.
They lose it. And when I tell you, everything I want is specifically about upsetting people that annoy me. When I tell you, another thing that I cannot wait for is when any of these people try to complain to me about the way that I talk while I'm doing anything after this. It is just... I'm such an antagonistic person. I'm not like actually like this. Well,
yeah,
I am, but like not towards people, just in general.
Right.
But something about the fact that they decided to destroy an entire planet for money kind of just pisses me off. So I feel like I'm in the clear.
You definitely are.
Anyway.
Have you seen the show? What is the show? I can't remember. It's a Netflix show, and like when you die, basically, like you can like transplant your brain or memory or whatever into another body. I forgot what that show is called.
Don't know what it's called. I never watched it. My roommate watched it. Yeah, you're talking about the one. Could it speak to the one? Yeah. They had like a USB chip or whatever.
Yeah, and you could to like really kill some, like it was like the absolute worst thing you could possibly do, which was like similar to like murder now, but like in their like futuristic time zone, like if you got rid of their like brain, it was like the worst possible crime you could ever commit. Like you would never see the light of day again, type deal. But like it was funny because like there was so many different types of like. I'm just talking this because it reminded me of the conversation we were saying about like the way you look. And there was like people that spent tons of money on getting like a model skin or like you said, a bodybuilder skin. And then like there was like people that were just like, just give me what you got. And it's it's like an old 90-year-old lady and he's like at the bar taking shots. Like,
yeah,
that was like the funniest thing to me.
Oh, I don't know if you have you ever watched this show called Ghost in the Shell?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep.
It's
very similar to that. Yeah.
But yeah, all I'm saying is, God, when that happens, that's going to be such a shit show.
It is.
Like, because Cyberpunk makes everything look like it's going to be like so orderly and fine. That's not what this is going to look like.
No.
There are people who are going to be looking like fucking Oni or orcs. Like, or people who are just going to actually make themselves look like walking tank people. Don't make it seem like everyone just wants to be like a slightly taller version of The Rock. That's not what people want. Am I saying this because I'm one of those people? Maybe. That's not... Shut up.
No, I agree. Like, what were you saying?
The point is, most people don't want to look like themselves. Like, I'm not saying, like, in a negative way. Like, I don't know the percentage of people that, like, look at themselves and say, God damn, I'm glad to be
right. I'm absolutely perfect. Right.
But like, because there were so many things that like people would ideally change just to make themselves feel better. I'm not even talking like, and well, obviously that's true because that's why plastic surgery exists.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm saying like, even like small things. There were like people who like get insecure about the length of their fingernails. Not even just like their fingernails, like the actual part of their nail that's still like in their hand. Like,
it's definitely interesting what people get insecure about. But hey, I was just gonna say like that's definitely true. It's like I don't know how many people would say that, but yeah, majority of people would like to be a little taller, or like I played basketball, like I would have did anything to jump a little higher. You know what I mean? Like
exactly,
like small stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, if futuristic time, yeah, cyberpunk and all that, like I'm having swords come out my arm, I'm having a jetpack,
exactly.
I'm having everything I can possibly do. If I have that technology at my disposal, I can go to work for a day and get a laser eye in a week. Sure,
exactly.
I'm gonna do it.
Again, like I said, there are like a bunch of reasons why I technically want to be president. It's one of those reasons so I could have free healthcare. So like when this becomes a thing, I can get myself any surgery I want.
Yep.
Probably. Like I was saying before, I won't know until it happens.
Exactly.
So I can't question it too much.
Hey man, when you gonna? So you got to be a certain age to run for president, right?
You have to be 35.
35? Hey man, you got my vote. Soon as anything moves, I'm there supporting 100%.
Cool, thanks. So as of right now, okay, so I think I started doing this last October, TikTok specifically.
Yeah.
I don't know when I made my YouTube channel. I literally immediately forgot when my first video was. Anyway, my point is, I've been doing this for I think around 1.5 years to 2 years, and I'm going to be honest. Like I brought this up like maybe all of like 5 times. I legitimately thought I would have already stopped by now because I didn't think I would be this into this.
Yeah.
And the fact that I am kind of concerns me, not like in a bad way.
Yeah, I mean, it caught you by surprise, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's like, am I really doing with this? It's like, I kind of was just bored one day, so I made like the video about me doing this. I was like, oh god, I'm still doing this. It's like I've never stuck with anything this much. Maybe like video games I gave up quicker than this.
Yep. Like, no, it's funny. There's this one dude I love watching, and he said something similar. Like a lot of creators and a lot of people that do start making their own lane, like we were saying earlier, like obviously the normal people aren't the ones that make it. And he was saying like the people that do start creating and do start, you know what I mean, doing what they do, they've just done it longer than they normally would have. Like it's just doing the obvious things longer than the average person. And hey, I was gonna say, I'm sure you can attest to that by saying, hey, I'm gonna keep going with it. And hey, whatever happens, happens.
Yeah. But I do know for a fact, my absolute cutoff date, well, my date in general, if I ever get invited on a TV show, I have to. Someone said one time, you're not really going to do it. It's like, you are 100% right. I have absolutely no idea if I am. Because, like, the moment, like, an actual news source contacts me and talking about interviewing me, I legitimately don't know. I might completely bitch out. But if I don't, if I go on fucking MSNBC, CNN, that's what I was trying to think of. Either of them. If I actually go on national television and tell people about this, I am losing my shit. Because everything that I do, everything that I say, I don't do anything. Everything that I say is still based off of the premise of I still might go back to my ordinary life.
Yeah.
But once you get put on national television saying I want to become president to spite racist, that's not some shit that you can just come back from.
Oh no, for sure. There's gonna
that's pretty much where I'm at. It's like I legitimately don't know what's going to happen until, like, again, I'm going to do this like as long as I want to. Like, even if I don't like actually run next year because, you know, I didn't, you know, make the deadline or whatever, I'm still going to keep going because I have no reason to stop. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Like once that happens, I'm pretty much in this for the long haul.
For sure. I mean, you got to think too, like if you do make it on TV to do whatever interview or whatever, like you said, when it starts reaching people that aren't following you on social media, don't even know your name, and they're like, who is this guy? And they start seeing your YouTube video, they start watching your TikToks. It's going to be like a snowball effect.
Yeah.
Instantly. Literally instantly. Because
exactly.
Like you said, this is 2 years of content already that they're going to just be sitting there scrolling through like, this is unbelievable.
But yeah, that is whatever. I don't know.
Whatever, man.
All right. Well. Do you have any more questions? Because I don't.
I don't, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate you hitting me back up, man, and get me on here.
Yeah,
it was fun, man. I hope to come back eventually, if that's cool.
Sure. Again, like listen. I'm gonna be I keep saying it like I've lied a bunch of times. Anyway. I am horrible at keeping in contact with people because I'm one of those people who, like, once the initial conversation ended, I completely disassociate that person. It becomes like non-existent. Like, I remember people exist. I'm not gonna say like
right. I know what you mean.
But like, you'll have to tell me. I am never like actively just gonna say, "Hey, you want to come back on?" Like,
I got you. Never
gonna cross
I'm gonna hit you back up eventually and be like, "Hey, man, I'm trying to get back on, and we're gonna chop it up again." Because I was gonna say, I mean, you dealing with like internet stuff. That's what I do mainly. I do a lot of social media stuff. So like dealing with internet stuff, you have to forget people like that, just because your brain can't hold an information or a conversation from a random DM from somebody.
You're right. I didn't even think about in terms of like, God, you're right. Because there were people that like actually have like a bunch of contacts like that have to deal. See, I didn't think about that.
That's a lot to keep a hold of. So like, I mean, I have my people that I talk to regularly, but past that, hey, if you get in contact with me, you get in contact with me. So I feel you on that. So hey, I'll hit you back up then, man.
All right, cool. Oh, I have to do the closing. That's right. I got distracted. So this has been whatever this is, a show where I talk to people about, well, mainly about me running for president, or whatever else. I don't care. It doesn't mean anything to me. Talk about whatever. This has been my guest, Malik, who, do you have like a thing that you want to talk about?
I mean, I do, but I don't. Is it cool if I just give you my social media link? I do so many things. I like to think of myself as just somebody on the internet, man. That's literally how I like to think of myself. So, hey, if they wanna know more about me, they can.
All right, cool. That works for me.
Yeah.
Whatever random link he gives me, I will put in the bottom for you to look at.
But
if you want me to talk to people or you, I guess, or whatever, then you can message me on Instagram, or not TikTok. What's the other one? Twitter. I don't really check.
You're on Twitter?
I am. I'm not on Twitter. I have a Twitter, but I'm not on Twitter.
Twitter is like my elite social media. Like,
see, it's a lot of people's. Twitter's also insane.
It is. That's why I like it.
Good for you. Anyway, let's see. I don't know. Check the link to the bottom. I don't know what's going on. That is it. Oh, I also post these relatively every Thursday, depending on if I have someone to talk to that week or not. This one will be up also, well, today, which is Thursday. I don't know which Thursday, but it's definitely going to be Thursday.
A Thursday.
And, yeah. So, yeah.
Hey, man.